Hi, this is Jared Polak, founder of EntreResults, author of EntreBalance and EntreBusiness. I was talking with one of the coaches on our EntreResults team recently about momentum and how, I started thinking about momentum and what that means in business. I always think about what that means in life too, but specifically here in business. And I think about how you know when you have momentum. You know when you don't have momentum. You know when you're losing momentum. You know when you feel stuck without momentum, yet it's still an intangible thing. So we're going to talk about how do you get it and how do you keep it in business. So how do you get it? How do you get momentum? And how do you keep momentum in business? And I will have to start with just saying that you could do all these things right and still lose momentum for a short amount of time, but this are the six things and the six S's, actually. They all start with S, believe it or not. So you will be excited about what we have. Number one is you have to start moving the chains, move the bus, move. You got to do something. So you got to take action. So you have to start in order to get the business going in that right direction. If you don't ever start doing activity, you'll never get momentum. But number two, and this is what I've discovered a lot in business development or business in general, it's sprint. So you have to start, but at the beginning stages of getting momentum, you really have to sprint. You have to go hard at the beginning of anything you're trying to launch, anything you're trying to move forward, a new business, a new service, a new product you want to sell, a new marketing program, a new whatever. You need to sprint at the beginning. Number three is systematize. So again, you start it, you sprint, and then you have to put together a system so that it can run when you're not there or run with the help of other people. That is number three, is systematize to keep momentum. Number four is sustain the momentum. So after you systematize it, you have to take a little break because you can't sprint forever. And when you take that little break, you're going to see if you're going to sustain that momentum as a company. And if you don't ever take a break, you don't really know necessarily if you have momentum or if the momentum will be long standing because you're always sprinting. So take a step back after you systematize things. Then you have to just take a little break and sustain things. See if other people can run the system or see if your automation can work. And then number five is simplify. Because once you have the system in place and you see if it's sustainable, normally what's going to happen is you're going to realize that you maybe did a little bit too much and you need to make things simpler. So simplify your system, simplify what you have going on. Perfect example of this would be in marketing. You get a system in place, you market like crazy, you get 9 things going. A few of them are working awesome, some of them are working okay, and a few aren't working at all. Well, maybe you do the 80-20 rule and you just focus on the 2 or 3 things that work awesome. So you simplify things. And just one example is marketing. The sixth thing, the most difficult in many ways, really, but it's about seeing. You have to see and look into the future, predict what's going to happen. Because the reality is, you started something like, say, a program for your company, you're sprinting, you're systematizing it, you're sustaining it, you simplify it, and it's working really, really well. You have the momentum going, it's happening. But the reality is that the business environment changes, things change, and you have to see into the future in terms of what are the trends that are going to happen, what are the competition that's going to come in, and then what happens is you kind of sometimes have to sort of start the cycle all over again because competition comes, an environmental change happens, something happens with the economy, whatever. There's a disruptor in your industry, or maybe that program is going out of date, or that product is going out of date, or whatever. And so then you have to see into the future, start something new, sprint, systematize, sustain, simplify, and see all over again. Those are the 6 things you need to do, and I need to do to maintain momentum.